Hello everyone, I'm showing how to use other open source models with LangChain. So in this video I'm going to show you how to do information retrieval from text and PDF files without using OpenAI's embeddings and without using OpenAI large language model. In this video we will be overview looking at two applications. First we will deal with text documents and introduce different concepts and models, and then we will look at how to work with multiple PDF files. So first we need to install some of the required packages. In this case we are installing LangChain, Hugging Face Hub and Sentence Transformer. Next we need Hugging Face getting the token hub API token since we are going to be using models from Hugging Face. In order to get the token, go to your Hugging Face account, click settings, and then under settings you will see these access tokens. You can create a new token or use an existing one. Next we need some data to work with, so in this case I am just using an example provided within LangChain library. So what we are doing it here is we are importing the request library. So here is the URL of the text files that we are going to read. Then based on the URL, we used request library to get the text file and we write it to a file name chatgpt4.txt. When I execute this cell, the file will be stored on my Google Drive. Next, we are using the text loader function from documents loader to load a text document. Now, if you run this, we can actually look at the content of our document. Now we have our document. Next, we want to divide it into smaller chunks so that we can fit this into our large language models, our embeddings. Each model has a specific token size of 2000 and you want to make sure that it doesn't exceed the token limit of the model that you are going to be working with. So we are using character text splitter. This will convert our document into chunks of 2000 tokens and those are going to be stored in this documents object. There are a total of 42 chunks and here is the first chunk. Next we want to compute embeddings from our documents. So in this case we are using embeddings from Hugging Face instead of OpenAI's embeddings. Now this is not the only type of open source synthetics that LangChain supports. There are actually a number of different embeddings, so have a look at these embeddings on the applications that you are working on. You want to select specific type of embeddings. Keep in mind that the best embedding is currently available are OpenAI's embeddings, but these are not free. So in this case, I am simply creating an object of embeddings. Right now we need a vector store for information retrieval. So in this case we are using the face CPU and you just need to install it. Okay, there are other vector stores as available in the LinkedIn. You can check out a comprehensive list here. Next we using embedding document. These embeddings are we need to embed our document. So in this case we are using from document pass on our documents are the chunks that we create, right, and the corresponding buildings, and this variable is now going to have embedded documents. It's essentially a database, a vector store of the embeddings from our document. Now in order querying document to do a query on our documents, so we get the query, calculates its embeddings and then do a similarity search between the creating and the document set. So for example, in this case, the query is what is LangGPT? Using similarity search, it will find the documents that had the text closest to this text. So there's a couple of places based on the similarity search it found. Now these results are solely based on the similarity search. Now you can also integrate this with a large language model to do a QA based on your text files. Next, I want to show you how you question answer chain can integrate this as a part of question answer chain using under action language model. So in this case, we are loading the question answer chain from question answering. Then we are using the Hugging Face hub, right? The large language model instead of OpenAI model we are using is the Google Flan T5XL, right? So it will get the large language model from Hugging Face. Next, we need to create a chain. So in this case, I'm going to pass on this LLM that I created and let's run this. We have our chain in order to run a query or a prompt here is what we do. So we have a query, then find it, then do the similarity search on the documents based on the embeddings that we provided. And then the change will simply change the creating and the documented together to get the response. Next, I want to show you how you can do the same with PDF files. We are going to be using the same basic concepts that we just. So first you need to install the required packages. Next we import two different functions, so unstructured PDF loader and vector store index created. This is the function when all the magic is going to happen. Next we accept the connecting Google Drive. So I have a folder within my Google Drive called my underscore data and it has two different PDF files. The first is this PDF named as attention is all you need.pdf. Next, we are creating loaders to load our files. Now, since there are two PDF files and the result will be list of two loaders. Next, we will look at how do we create vector store. So in this function, vector store index created accepts embeddings. In this case, we are passing on the Hugging Face embeddings that we had already earlier defined. And then we are dividing our documents into different chunks, right? So a chunk size of 2000 and then pass on the loaders that we had. So this will basically has embeddings created from these documents. Next, we need our large language model that we are going to be using for question answer. So in this case, again I'm using the Hugging Face. So in this case, again I'm using the Hugging Face hub and getting a Flan T5XL model from Google instead of OpenAI the Vinci retrieval models for information retrieval. We are using retrieval with LangChain. So in this case, we pass on the large language model that we just created a chain type is stuff and then the retriever is the index store that we created by default. It's using ChromaDB. We could actually change this, but I think I left it to default. So instead of files, it's going to be using ChromaDB and then the input key is going to be a question. So that's the prompt or the query that we are going to do it passing it on all, right? So now we are ready to turn our query so that the way you do it is you have a chain and you pass in your query. So let me ask it, who is the author of LangGPT? We will call our key authors typically for all, okay? And I think I got only the first author. You can play around with the maximum length and stuff so you get better responses. So there you have it. I just may want to make this quick tutorial on how you can use open source models instead of OpenAI's models. Okay, I hope you found this useful. If you have any questions or comments, please put them in the comment section. I would love to answer them. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.